Same week, same shit, pretty much. Different week, different shit. Whatever you want to call it, you know. Is this what I pay to put up for? I guess so. just when everything looks like it's going good, you know what I mean? Shit hits the fan in the most Bengals way possible. We Bengals again. The Bengals find a way to Bengal. That's just what the fuck we do, I guess. I don't know, man. If you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, and you know exactly this is just a repeat of the same shit I've been saying. You know, is it great to have Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and those guys? It is, for sure. But when you draft players that make plays and they're generational guys that can change the outcome of games and things like that, and you draft those players, you have to retain that talent. You can't let that talent walk out the door. And if you do sign outside talent that fits the mold, fits the scheme, and fits the culture, and he wants to stay, and you let him walk, that's an issue too. And that's we planted those seeds, and now we're reaping what we've sown into the ground. That is the Bengals defense this year. You still see with the offensive line. We kind of fixed the offensive line. You know, we went out and got Mims, and we got OBJ. So our tackles are cool. Karras is doing solid at center, but our interior offensive line just ain't working. This is not a shot at Chase Brown at all. But, because Chase Brown's been doing great. I love Chase Brown. It should be Chase Brown and Joe Mixon back there. You let Joe Mixon go, who we drafted. Great guy. Didn't fit the scheme. Right. Great players don't ever fit the scheme. They're great players. You think Megatron fit a scheme? No, he was the scheme. No. You think Jamar Chase fits the scheme? No, he is the scheme. What do you mean? We basically traded Joe Mixon to the Texans for a 7th-round pick. Used that 7th-round pick to go get Khalil. So we basically did a player swap. And, yeah, no thank you. No thank you. Team missing 5 games doesn't help at all. But when you boil it down, anybody that knows ball, it comes down to defense. Always has, always will. It starts in the interior line, okay? Whose interior line can dominate who, offense versus defense, on both sides of the ball. And then your defense as a whole, overall. Because you can have a decent defensive line, but if you got a solid secondary linebacking core, you know, it'll be all right. They'll help you create pressure. You'll get a coverage sack, for sure. Or vice versa. You'll get a fucking interception off of a sack, off of a hurry-up throw, off of your edge rushers or something. So that shit happens. We let DJ Reader go and signed Rankings for more money, who's older. We drafted Jesse Bates, all-pro safety. Let him walk. Tried to replace him with Nick Scott. Didn't work. Tried to replace him with Le'Veon Bell. Not Le'Veon Bell, but Von Bell. Sorry. It's not working. Geno Stone. It's not working. We drafted Battle, who had a all-pro rookie year as a rookie, or all-rookie, whatever, all-team rookie, highest graded rookie in coverage, all that shit. Motherfucker don't play. Don't know why. I'm wiping my nose. I don't give a fuck. My shit's all snotted up. I don't give a shit. You draft Anthony, and then you draft Newton, and then these guys don't play. Like, if this was baseball, I'd understand. You know, farm system, all that shit. It seems, you know, you draft this guy, you want him to develop, da-da-da-da-da-da. But if we're drafting these guys, and then we're having issues in the back end of the secondary, why wouldn't you even entertain the idea of giving these guys snaps that matter and putting them in the game and letting them play and see what happens? Just see what happens. How you gonna know if these guys are good if they're not getting playing time? How can you say Miles Murphy is a bust or not if he's only getting 10 snaps a game, 20 snaps a game? Like, I can't tell you if you're good or not 20 snaps a game. That's 5 plays a quarter at best. You think you can tell me if a player is good or not? This is not a diss to Miles Murphy or those guys. If a player is a superstar, like a Khalil Mack, a Jamar Chase, yeah, you can tell within, 5 snaps or so, like, all right, this is a special motherfucker right here, okay? And I'm not saying Miles Murphy can't be special. He just needs more than 20 snaps a game. Like, that's what all these guys need. So yeah, it's the same stuff, same week, different stuff, different week, whatever you want to call it. Same week, different stuff, whatever. For these team right here, man. Offense, one of the best in the league. We know that. 9 top 2 quarterbacks in the league. Argue with your mama. 2 of the top 10 receivers in the league. If you don't think T. Higgins is a top 10 receiver, you're funny. I better not see your team try to sign him in the offseason then. If you don't think he's top 10 in the league. Because if he's not top 10 in the league, why are all these teams trying to get him? I don't know. You know what I mean? You let Joe Mixon go, you let Reader go, you let Bates go, and then you don't plan for it properly. And trade deadline comes out. Trey Hendrickson has no help on the line, and you do nothing. You go get a running back. I don't know why we don't pick up a free agent running back and trade for a fucking edge rush or defensive tackle help or something. Our defensive tackle is thin as shit, and our corner's starting to get thin too. CTB does not look like the same guy he does, and I know CTB gets a lot of blame for it, and I get it, because we do run a lot of man, we do. But those plays, when we're in zone, you can go back and watch any of these games, when we're in zone, bro, we get torched worse than we do in man. And who's in charge of zone communication in the back end? You guys know? The safeties. Okay, thank you. So when I see a lot of these plays, bro, and I see a soft-ass zone and just, you saw it tonight to fucking, on that fucking little route that fucking McCocken had on, Stone. Stone was the safety that was supposed to drop over. It was Stone, and who was the safety? I think the safety was Stone, and the corner was, I want to say either CTB or Ivy, I think, or something. Somebody, whatever. Either way, your job as the safety is to be like, yo, we're over here, we're doing this, keeping everything in front of me, and I'm not getting beat, you know what I mean? And when you're playing safety, like, they were playing cover 2 on that, man, on that one, cover 2. So when they're playing cover 2, I got, obviously, this half of the field. Split the field. This is my half, this is your half. So when the formation's lined up, let's say you got, 3 receivers over there, 1 over here. I know I have the potential of this receiver trying to run, maybe a corner. That's my responsibility. If he starts to run a post, he's mine up to here, then I let him go. But I have to be aware of these guys coming underneath. So when Stone saw that breaking out, he saw it way too late, and he's just too slow to recover and get back to it. And Bob's your fucking uncle, man. Jesse Bates would have been all over it, though. I did like what I saw out of what I did see. McKinley had a lot of great pressures on that little cutback run. He beat the cutback block on the cutback run they were trying to do to JK, where the guy, I think it was the right guard, was pulling, and McKinley just shot through and just missed him and everything. And saw some good things from Rank. Who is the guy from Michigan? Jenkins. He had some good pressures and good plays too. Murphy looked good. Battle, when he was out there, looked good. He got turned a little bit. He did the same thing I used to do sometimes, and a lot of corners do it from time to time. Get your foot stuck. You know what I mean? Once you stop moving your feet, you're grass. You basically have to you're basically starting from zero again. You know what I mean? You got to keep your feet moving so you're always able to, go. When that came across right there, luckily dude missed the ball, but Battle stopped and let him cut across him, and Battle had to play catch up. Mike Hilton stepped up, looked really good. Sam Hubbard did not look good. Rankings wasn't out there. He was sick. BJ Hill looked all right. Trey looked like Trey. It's just the little things, man. It's just the little things we gotta clean it up. And if you want to be honest, we can talk about Joe Burrow too, because I've said this for a while. Joe Burrow sometimes does not look the safety off. Sometimes Joe Burrow goes up to run a play, and he has predetermined, pre-picked out who he's going to throw the ball to, who he's targeting. Sometimes he doesn't go through his progressions. He had Jamar Chase wide open for a touchdown. He's had other receivers open throughout the year where you just watch him the whole play, and he's just watching this guy the whole time. Boom. Like, if you would have looked through your progressions and, did this or that, you had this check down, you had that corner, that pose, like, Jermaine Burton should have went up for 2 hands. There's a lot of shit we can nitpick, man. It's just frustrating when you know that this team is that good, yet we can't capitalize on when the games we're supposed to win. This is the best offense as a whole Joe Burrow's ever had since he's been here. Overall, from, offensive line, skill group guys, all that stuff. On the flip side, definitely the worst defense he's ever had. And the fact that I feel like we have the guys on the bench to help out in the secondary. It's just the fact that they're not playing that really just irks me, as a Bengals fan, and as somebody that played football up to the collegiate level, that understands it, that gets it. Like, I get it from a business management GM standpoint. I get it. You just signed Geno Stone to X amount of money. He led the league in interceptions with 7 last year. You're not going to pay somebody that much money to sit on the bench. You know what I mean? I get it. But from a coaching standpoint, from a I need to win, I want to win standpoint, and from a fan standpoint, if you're not getting results, if this guy's missing tackles, if he's inconsistent, I don't care if he has one good game and bounces back, you're going to be splitting time. I need to see what the guys behind you can do. I need to see what those rookies can do, those first, second-year guys. Are these guys deserving of more playing time? Are they deserving of maybe looking at taking your spot, taking your job? You know what I mean? Yeah, we just gave you this contract, but you're not playing up to the contract we gave you. So, shake the tree and see what happens. See what leaves fall. See if you can get enough to collect to make something cool. I don't know what analogy I was going for there, but yeah. Something's got to give, and it's got to give fast. I think too many people want to blame Zach Taylor, and I get some of the blame for him. I do. Some of his play calls, I think today was a well-called game. Some people want to blame Frank Polak because he's the offensive line coach, and I get some of the blame they want to give him. Same with Lou Anarumo. A lot of people want to blame Lou. He's in charge of the defense. I get it. But what's tied into all those guys? Money Mac. Everybody's mad at the secondary coach and Money Mac and all that other stuff. And who's tied into all that? I'll help you out. Duke Tobin in the front office and the GM and who they decide to keep and leave. You know what I mean? Nobody was calling for Lou's head last year, and the defense wasn't even that good last year. And then 2 years ago, nobody was calling for Lou's head. He was supposed to leave at the end of the year and be a head coach somewhere. What's the difference in those years? Jesse Bates and DJ Reader. That's about it. He still got Mike Hilton, still got CTB. We lost Awuzie, but Awuzie wasn't even I don't want to say contributing. He wasn't the Awuzie we first got after he injured himself again, which is sad because he was playing great. He was playing Pro Bowl caliber cornerback play, man. It was nasty. It was so nasty. We haven't had a corner like that in a while. So yeah, you know, what's different about the offense? You know, we went and got those offensive guys for Pollock, but they're not run gushers. They're more like they're built to pass protect, but even then they're not even that good on the interior line, anyways. You know, I don't know. It's just a lot going on. That's my take on it for this week's game. Pretty sure next week's a bye. I think. Yeah, I think next week's a bye. Either way, December 1st, December 2nd, December 3rd, one of those days is next home game. Steel City, Steel Curtains. The odds are not in our favor to get into the playoffs, but they're not at 0. We could still win out the AFC North at 4-2. It's a possibility. It's not a, it's a possibility. Um, I've said this for years, and I always say it. I love my team. I love the Stripes. I love my Bengals. That's who I cheer for. Just because Mike Brown and Elizabeth and Katie Blackburn are letting the wrong pieces go and signing the wrong pieces to replace them doesn't mean that I still don't, trust and respect those guys in the Stripes. Does Geno Stone piss me off? Do I not want him to be my starting safety? Do I kind of want them to cut him? I do. I really do. But when he's out there on that field and he has that jersey on, I have respect for him, and I want him to do his best and give his best every single time, even if it does piss me off. Who dat?